This Week in Fish and Wildlife, sponsored by your local Montana Toyota dealers.
Thursday morning time once again for This Week in Fish and Wildlife. We're on the road actually along the Gallatin River here out near Logan. Andrea Jones joining us. Andrea, temperature a little cooler than it has been, seems like, for months since we've been meeting. Got some situations we maybe should be talking about our friends the bears moving around as they're getting ready ultimately for winter.
Well, right, and that's really important for our hunters, especially our archers out there. We recently had our first encounter really with an archer and a grizzly, so want to just get that in people's heads to be out there, be very bear aware, be vigilant, on your toes. So when you're out in the field, we know you're not going to be wanting to make noise. It's the nature of archery, but at least be looking for sign, look for your scat, look for turned over boulders, look for scratches on trees. Fresh stuff should be a good clue. Also, if you can, be scanning the landscape for moving brush and what have you, so that at least you might be able to give yourself a little more time in the event of some sort of surprise or what have you, or avoid a surprise. Also, if you're lucky enough to be successful and harvest an animal, don't become complacent when you get to the field dressing part of things. Sometimes people become so laser focused and that's when the work starts and they kind of let their guard down. But that's the time to really have your eyes and ears alert.
Speaking of archery season, time to be talking about season setting and things like that. There's an opportunity for the public to participate in that.
Yeah, a lot of times people think of that their time to comment is when we propose all those seasons in January, and this is obviously very hunt specific, so certain audiences may not totally understand it, but we always give people a pre opportunity to give comment before our biologists make those recommendations to our commission, and that's happening right now. So if you have thoughts on, say, what's happening right here in this area in Manhattan or down in Ennis or over in Park County, no matter what the species that we set seasons for at this time of year, let our folks know. And you can do that online. There's various online forms, very easy to fill out. Just go to our website, fwp.mt.gov. There's a link right on our front page. It is a good opportunity to get that in before that stuff is sort of written up by our biologist and turned in.
Also, before we wrap this up, probably another good chance to remind folks to be extra careful out there if you're out archery hunting, whatever, with fire safety.
Right. I feel like I'm constantly talking about fire safety. Worth mentioning again, please be super, super careful if you're going to be out there hunting especially considering where your vehicle is and parking and smoking. Obviously not a good idea outside right now. Just have your car stocked with the things you need to put out a fire quickly. Don't park on grass. I know I said this last week. Don't park on high vegetation. Be smart and be ready to put something out. If you don't feel comfortable where you are, just move and get to gravel or don't hunt that property.
Again, Andrea Jones from the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks. We're out on the road. Thanks for joining us, Andrea. And that's This Week in Fish and Wildlife.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife was brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.